This place just has so much really cool stuff.
Hi, I'm George the Antique Nomad. Come with me as I wander the country in search of valuable vintage, amazing antiques, and cool collectibles. We'll buy, sell, and trade at antique malls, shops, and shows, estate sales, flea markets, thrift stores, anywhere people go to find really interesting things that just aren't made anymore. So come on, let's go.
Hey everybody, it's George the Antique Nomad. We are back at Cherokee Antique Mall for the next in our series of quick 15-minute or so videos where we really focus on merchandise in retail antique malls and vintage places and what the prices are and what makes them interesting. So let's go, because we've got a lot to show you. This place has a lot of fun stuff. Starting with this, look at this amazing dragon handle here. It's winged, it has the face. It is just the really cool part of this piece, and it's hand painted. This is $35, which is not bad considering this is a true antique. This is 120 years old. It was made by a company called Carlsbad in Austria. And you can see their mark on here, and there's various marks they did. This is the 1890s mark before they had to put the country of origin on it. At $35, I think that's a pretty impressive piece. This is also really cool. I've never seen one done up like this before. These are circa 1905 postcards made of leather. They did these from about 1905 to about 1910. In the early days, the golden era of postcards, yes, you could send leather postcards. And somebody took this and they assembled all of it together into this really cool fringed leather bag, which is priced at $59, which I think for what it is really amazing, because there can't be many of these that are left. These would tend to get delicate. You notice there's a little bit of a hole there from where they're starting to come apart. So not an easy thing to find, really cool. It's even got the straps in decent shape. That'd be something you'd want as a wall hanger rather than to wear around, of course, but it is a really fun and interesting thing, I thought. Now, from the same era, but a different look entirely, is this set here. This is Limoges, and it's a complete boudoir set. So this was hand painted, not at the factory. You can tell by the detail in here. This was done by a very talented amateur painter rather than done as a factory paint scheme. You can see on the bottom of this hair receiver that it has the little mark there, and that one is on that, but then this one has a very clear Limoges mark. So they probably got blanks from various companies with no painting on it and then did the painting and firing themselves. It's only $75 for all these pieces, which seems like a really good price. You've got the powder shaker and the scent bottles, this covered jar. This is a hair receiver. Yes, people did save hair. They used it to make jewelry and stuff things with. So that was part of an important part of a boudoir set back then. Now we're going to come to the front of this next case, because they have, let's see, right there, some really neat Royal Beirut. It's actually on sale. I just really like this stuff. This was also made around 1910, so these pieces are true antique. They did clowns, they did crows, they did devils, they did the poppies and the tomatoes you see in the back. Their stuff is generally marked Royal Beirut with a nice shield, and it was made in Bavaria around 110 years ago. So it is a very collectible area as well, and they did a lot of whimsy at a time when that was not really the standard thing to do. I'm going to show you this piece because this is something that I have always liked. This is Franciscan's Coronado. It came out in 1940. It's got this wonderful swirl. They tend to be pastel colors. One of the reasons I want to point this out to you is it was very popular in its time. There's a lot in collections, and the pastel colors are starting to come back into favor. So I think Franciscan Coronado, you can see the Franciscan ware mark there, is a likely thing to come back into style as well. And the shapes are fun and great. This one is priced at $25, which is about right for the gravy boat. And then behind it, also priced at $25, is this vase. I'm guessing this is going to say Rumrill when we look at the bottom. Nope, but there's not actually a mark on it at all. But it looks very much like the ombre glazes in this lavender to green that were done by Red Wing Pottery for George Rumrill, who commissioned them to make the stuff for him to sell. All right, let's see what else is in here. This place just has so much really cool stuff. So let's step into, here's a whole bunch of cocktail shakers. Now we see these from the 1930s, right after Prohibition is lifted. They basically take coffee pots and turn them into cocktail makers. You see a lot of the chrome ones. Oftentimes they're missing this. It's very important to have that because they were all different, so they don't always find replacements easily. This one would be the more desirable because the cherry red handle, that is Bakelite plastic, just like they made of the jewelry. Now, while we go looking for the next interesting thing to show you, I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Please do give a thumbs up and let us know that you're liking this video. Also, if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe, and then you can click that bell to be notified of future videos. We have 2 other sites as well that you can look at now. We have the Antique Mall, or channels, I should say. We have the Antique Nomad Shorts, which is brand new. Lots of 1 minute and less content for you to look at when you're just sitting somewhere and need a quick moment break, and you can check that out. And also the Antique Nomad Live, where we do our live content. You can check those things out in the description of this video, and it'll tell you all about them. They have a pile of compacts in here, and we are starting to see people collecting compacts again. They have a whole lot of 1940s and 50s. I like the one with the little ballerina slippers on it painted. You can see there's an enamel one under here. This mother of pearl with the etching, that pink. There's a lot of variation in these. You'll see prices starting at about $20 and up on compacts. And yes, you can have them filled. I know that Macy's, if you still have a Macy's in your area, will refill compacts, and they'll put the old lipstick in and the whole thing for you. So you actually can use them. All right, we're going to take a look at these. Yes, this is the company that went out of business in Louisville. We were talking in a prior video about Louisville stoneware. Well, this is Mary Hadley pottery. This was the other stoneware company. She actually worked for Louisville Stoneware, did a lot of these freeform whimsy designs, and then her husband started her in her own pottery company, which lasted from 1940 till last April. Mary Hadley is the signature. This one's priced at $39. It is popular all over the country. Even though it is made in Kentucky, it's known everywhere. All right, we're going to go around the corner here. Now, somebody told me recently that they read somewhere, and I think it might have been Martha Stewart, that people are starting to collect these Victorian tumblers again, which is actually great timing. They were in a lot of different patterns. A lot of them are painted. A lot of them have really fun designs. The colors are good. And the prices had really fallen over the years because they'd been out of favor with collectors. So now you can get pieces like that for as little as $10. So a lot of people are starting to collect again. And let's see what this is up here. It's Art Deco. It's chrome. It's been forgotten a while because it's dusty, and it does not have a maker name. It looks similar to the stuff that we see from Manning Bowman, but I think that it is a knockoff from the time. Chrome was really big in the 30s because silver was not affordable for people, but chrome had this bright, shiny finish, and the wood handle definitely fits that deco style. Only $16 on that one. $16 is a pretty good price. Let's see, well, we could spend a whole day with the books, so I think we'll keep going on past that. But let's take a look around the corner here, because we have a space that has a really cool ship lamp that I should show you. It's right here. There were variations of these made by a few different companies. This one has the United clock in the middle. You'll see them with Sessions clocks as well. They really like doing these novelties. This is going to be from right about 1940. They almost all still seem to work. And this one is priced at $55, which is actually a pretty good price. Usually when you turn them on, lights will come out of these little portholes. So they have a little bit of extra pizzazz beyond what you see just on the top. All right, let's see what we have down the aisle here. I think we will, gosh, so many choices. Where do we start? How about we come into this space and we'll show you this piece here, because this is another dinnerware pattern from the 30s and 40s that people are starting to like again. This is Harker's Cameoware, and if you notice that they did a relief here, so this actually feels like it's below the surface, and it is. They would do the white glaze, and then they would do a clear glaze over the white body, and then they would do a colored glaze, and they would actually use something like bluing or some other wax or some other thing to keep the glaze from sticking there, and that's how they got the 2 layers. they did a lot of things in that line, including rolling pins, and those are collectible in and of their own. And let's see over here. Well, we have a very nice Roseville Zephyr lily vase. This is such a popular pattern out of the 1940s. You'll see it on a green background, a blue background. It was popular in all its colors. This one is priced at $245 because it's rather a large piece. And so that makes it a little bit harder to find, and the condition is very good. These here are shelf rests. That's a good thing to point out, because a lot of people see these and say, well, that is the tallest sundae glass, and why is it double-ended? Well, that's because actually these were made to space out and put glass shelves on. So you'd have had 2 with a small shelf or 4 with a larger shelf. And you saw those a lot in stores around the 1920s and 30s. And they are collectible. That pair is priced at $49, which is about right for the pair. And while we go look for other things to show you, I will just mention that we actually do appraisal work for people as well. So if you go to the antiquenomad.com, you can click the button on appraisals, and you are welcome to submit 1 or a few items. It's very easy, and there's a process that will just take you right through, and then we'll have the information we need to help you value your items. This piece here is unusual. This is Brush McCoy, and this is part of their line that is known as Onyx, but this brown with the flower frog at the top is what's unusual. Usually this is just a solid bowl, and this one's actually priced pretty reasonably at $35, which for being an unusual piece in this line is pretty good. There's actually a bunch of flower frogs here. The frog is actually this part that you do the flower arranging in. This one is a platinite where the color is on the glass, not in the glass, as you see there, from about 1940. And then this one is a 3-piece in ceramic where the frog comes out separately. This was made in Japan in this nice basalt glaze. And this one's got an interesting Art Deco pattern and a pedestal, priced at $75. Flower frogs also come as figurals though, and the nude ones are some of the most desirable. This is priced at $65. This little dancer here is priced at $45. All of these are from the 1930s. I think part of the reason flower frogs are so popular in the 1930s is because people had time to entertain, because people were not as busy with work and things. And here's one more with a cherub riding a goose. There's the holes for arranging the flower frog. This is from about 1940. I do not see a maker name on that, and I haven't seen that piece before, but interesting nonetheless. And then down here, just because there's a lot of nice things right on this shelf, let's show you this with the holidays coming soon. This is Fenton's Stag and Holly. You see the stag right here, and there's the holly pattern. This is a nice big piece with an interesting edge, and it's tri-footed. So even though it's in the marigold color, this orange, which is probably the most common color of carnival glass, it's still something from about 1910, and it's priced at $79, which is a good price for what it is. All right, let's see what else we have down the aisle here. I am guessing that we are going to have some cool things in this space, including your brand new Chevelle 300 4-door station wagon. All of those old dealer signs like that show the pictures of the cars are pretty collectible now. That one's priced at, let's see, I think it says it is $75, and that's 1965. You see a lot from the 1980s. They don't run quite as high unless it's the Corvette, but they are really fun. This is Fall City beer, and this is $75 because it's local interest. And yes, cardboard signs are starting to sell for some real money. Okay, let's take a look at this guy because he's just so great, and you don't see these very often. Oh, except he's not an old one, so let me show you one that is. The one that is this parking meter. We'll look at that instead, because this parking meter is very typical of ones that we're seeing coming out of little towns all over the places. They're being replaced with automatic ones, and you can use them as banks. Oftentimes they have the key, which opened up from the back, and so you can actually use these for a purpose at home. The price on this one is, let's see, that one is priced at $140. You can sometimes find just the parking meter head at a pretty good price and then make a stand to do it. Well, it's been a lot of fun showing you all of this. This store is just so great and there's so many interesting things. So it's fun to be able to do this as a example of things that you might find. And now you'll have a better idea of what people think that they're worth at retail price. And I've got to say the prices here are pretty fair. And they do sell a lot here, so I think this is a good indication. Meanwhile, I'm George the Antique Nomad. Check me out at the social media and links in the description below, and we will see you again somewhere soon. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining me again in the fun and fascinating antique community here where online meets the real world. Please click the subscribe button below, click the bell to be notified when new videos upload, leave a comment below, and hit thumbs up to like this video. Links to our online social media and our items for sale are in the description. This is George at the Antique Nomad. Bye for now.